If you've ever wondered why protein is so important, how much you should consume per day, or how it helps your muscles, then make sure you stick around because I'm going to answer all of this and so much more today. Proper good morning and welcome back, my beautiful friend. If you are brand new here, I am Shantel and I am a lover of all things holistic healing through whole foods and fitness. Make sure you hit that subscribe button and click that notification bell so you never miss out on my workouts, my recipes, my health and wellness tips, and all the love and support you could possibly handle. I've been getting a lot, heaps of questions about macros or macronutrients, so I thought I would answer the most common questions right here, right now. But instead of answering all the macro questions, we're gonna keep it simple, scale things back, and just talk about protein. This is one essential nutrient you do not want to skimp out on. If you saw this video, then you are up to date on my current journey and how incredibly important and beneficial protein has been in my success. Check it out if you haven't already, because I am spilling all the secrets, all the tea on how I have been able to banish 20 plus pounds in 10 weeks. 10 weeks. And I promise you don't want to miss it. Okay, let's start with the basics. So protein is the building block of life itself. Every cell in your body contains proteins, which are made up of large complex molecules, which are made up of amino acids. Protein is super essential for your hair, your nails, your muscles, your digestion, your hormones, your energy. You name it. I swear, if anyone deserves the hashtag boss life title, it is definitely protein, because she works hard. This is a really great question, and I am going to speak in very, very general terms. So for my sedentary friends, these are my friends who lounge a lot during the day. They are not active at all, pretty much just sit or lay around. So for my sedentary friends, you probably need somewhere in the neighborhood of 0.35 grams per pound per day. For my active friends, you need somewhere in the neighborhood of 0.5 to 0.7 grams of protein per pound per day. For my athletic and bodybuilding friends, you likely need somewhere in the neighborhood of 0.7 to 1 gram of protein per pound per day. And for my mature friends, you may consider increasing your protein, and you may need somewhere in the neighborhood of 0.5 to 0.6 grams of protein per pound per day. Now, these are just general figures. Make sure you do your own research. And remember that everybody is different. Your needs are different from mine. The recommendation for you is coming from things like your age, your activity level, your overall goals, and so much more. I can tell you that for me, based on my age, my activity level, my goals, my current recommendation is 122 grams of protein per day. I will tell you that figuring out how much you need per day can be a little bit frustrating. So I have a few recommendations. First, there are a lot of free calculators online that will ask you to plug in some information and they will give you some recommendations. Now, these are general recommendations. It's best to tailor something for you. So enter my next recommendation, and this is a calorie counting macro tracking app. These apps will figure everything out for you. They typically have a free trial, 7+ days, most of the time. They typically have an intake questionnaire, and it's gonna ask you all kinds of things: your age, your activity level, your goals, and more. So it is so much easier to let someone else who has already figured all this out do the work for you. I will also say this is probably the best time of year to subscribe to an app, because a lot of them have holiday specials running right now. So this is a great time to do a free trial and get in while the getting is good. I myself have tried several different calorie counting and macro tracking apps. I will talk about that in a different video if you would like to hear more about that. The one that I settled on, and it's not even settling because it is phenomenal, it is MACROFACTOR. I will make sure that I link it down below for you, in addition to a code that will get you 2 weeks of completely free use. So this app is fantastic because it really is a calorie counting macro tracking app. It has an algorithm within it that looks at your weight, it looks at what you're consuming, it looks at your activity level, All of these things are just, it's pulling from all this data to determine what your needs are. So once per week, I have a check-in, and at my check-in, the algorithm has reviewed the data from the previous week, and it determines if I need to remain the same with my calories, my proteins, my fats, and my carbohydrates, if I need to increase any of those, or if I need to decrease any of those. So very fantastic. I love that I don't have to try to figure this out on my own. Time saver. My next recommendation is another app, and it is the Grounds app. So if you watched this video, then you've already heard me talk about the Grounds app and how obsessed I am with it. I am a subscriber to this app as well, but I did not sign up for the calorie and macro tracking feature. I signed up for the workout programs. But in addition to workout programs, it has period tracking, it has a journal, it has a community where you can commune and become friends with like-minded individuals, women specifically, because this is built for women, but it is wonderful. It also has the calorie counting and macro tracking portion, which is wonderful. So you get a lot of bang for your buck. Right now, they are running a limited time holiday special, 60% off an annual subscription. So win, 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 win all over the place. Just remember that everyone's needs are different. Everyone's body is different. Listen to your body. And if you're unsure, work with a trained professional. You can never go wrong. Let's talk protein sources. So let's start with the animal protein, and we're talking lean meats, eggs, dairy, fish, the goods, all the goods. These are all fantastic sources of protein. One of the things that makes them fantastic is that they are complete proteins, which means they have all 9 of the essential amino acids that your body needs. If you're plant-based, like I have been from time to time, then fear not, because you also have options. We are talking things like beans, lentils, quinoa, tofu. There's more, but all incredible sources of plant-based protein. And if you're in a rush, let me tell you, a delicious, high-quality protein shake is always in order. Like, that is never a bad way to go, which leads me right into our next question. There are a lot of protein powder options out there, but today we're only going to talk about 2, and that is whey protein versus plant-based protein. The first thing to know about whey protein is that it is a dairy protein, and it is derived from milk during the cheese making process. Because it's a dairy-based protein, it can make it hard for all of my lactose intolerant friends to properly digest. You may get some tummy issues, you know what I mean? One of the reasons why whey protein is a go-to for a lot of athletes and bodybuilders and everything in between is because it is considered a complete protein, which means it has all 9 of the essential amino acids that your body needs. Whey is typically lower in additional nutrients like fiber and antioxidants. However, it is higher in BCAAs, or branched chain amino acids. Let's talk plant-based protein powders. So these powders are typically made up of proteins from peas, rice, soy, and even hemp. Unlike its whey counterpart, the plant-based protein powders do tend to have more nutrients like the fiber, the vitamins, and the antioxidants. One of the reasons why people are less inclined to reach for the plant-based proteins is because they don't typically have all 9 of the amino acids that you need for your body. So you may have to add something to it to make sure that it then becomes complete. I can tell you that whey protein, I've heard about whey protein like pretty much since forever, since before sand. And it's been a go-to because it's been pretty much like the holy grail for building muscle and recovering after like a big workout. But let me tell you that the tides are turning, because studies have actually shown that proteins, or plant-based proteins like pea and soy, are equally as effective at muscle building and recovery. So there is that. If you come to my home for a visit, you are definitely going to find both whey protein and plant-based protein. My beautiful, delicious husband is all about the whey. We actually have like 3 closets full of protein and all of his essential goodies. It is ridiculous. So if you need some supplies, you know where to come, Now, that said, I am the plant-based protein powder consumer in our home, and I have found my holy grail, my favorite, my ace, and it is TRUVANI. Oh, how I love her. I am just obsessed. If you saw this video right here, then you heard me talk about TRUVANI and you saw my stash. I mean, my obsession, I don't know that it could run any deeper. I really don't. I can tell you that TRUVANI is super tasty. It is very clean with minimal ingredients. And one of the things that is so incredible that I didn't know when I was first introduced to TRUVANI is that it is a complete protein, meaning that it has all 9 essential amino acids that our beautiful, delicious bodies so desperately want and need. The thing that makes me gravitate toward the plant-based proteins versus the whey protein is that I do have a sensitivity to dairy. When I consume dairy, I become very congested. I will be puffy and bloated. My stomach does not feel good. It is just water retention for days. Like, it is not a vibe, not a vibe. I feel blobby and bloated and just yuck. Ain't nobody got time for that. So when I found plant-based protein, specifically TRUVANI, the heavens opened up. Like, I just love it so much. I will make sure that I link all the TRUVANI goodness you can possibly handle in the description box below so that you can try them yourself. I can't sing their praises enough. I just can't. Also, let me just say, you do not need protein powder to achieve your goals. You don't. You do not need to throw back protein shakes. You can get all of the protein you need in a given day just from consuming whole foods, which is always the preferred method, right? Right. I love to throw back a protein shake after a workout, but I don't always do it. It really is just to supplement my day. But I do actually feel better when I have a protein shake after smashing out a hard workout. The other time that protein shakes have been incredibly beneficial for me is when I first started this journey. So I had a very challenging time meeting my protein requirements for the day, and it was just frustrating me. And I didn't know how to meet my protein numbers for the day without messing up my other macros, like my fats and my carbohydrates. It was a mess. So my beautiful, delicious husband suggested that I try drinking some protein shakes during the day to get my numbers up there until I could become more comfortable with the process and figure out how to best make up my proteins for the day with whole foods. So to this day, like 10 plus weeks into my journey, I still consume protein shakes. Not every single day, but most days I do. And I love them. They make me feel good. They help me to get my numbers where they need to be for the day. They help with my muscle building, my muscle recovery, my strength gains, all the things. But just to be clear, you absolutely do not need to go out and spend money on protein powders to achieve your goals. You can absolutely do this with whole foods. The answer is a resounding yes, you absolutely can. I will say it might take a little more planning on your part, but you can definitely do it. Focus on combining different plant proteins to make sure that you're getting all of your essential amino acids every single day. So you could do things like rice and bean, you could do hummus and like a whole grain pita, a tofu stir fry with quinoa, anything along those lines, but that is really going to help you get your complete profile. And again, don't forget about the beautiful plant-based protein powders like TRUVANI. Let's talk protein and weight loss. If you are trying to shed some lbs, then protein can absolutely be a secret weapon for you. First and foremost, consuming the right amount of protein in a day is going to keep you fuller for longer, which, bonus over here on the side, it's likely going to keep you from reaching for those sneaky snacks, you know what I mean? A high protein diet can also mean an increase in your metabolism, which translates to you can hang out on the couch and still be burning calories, right? Here's another bonus. If you're in a calorie deficit, protein is going to help preserve your muscle mass, which means when you're losing weight, you are likely losing fat, not muscle. Come on, tell me that's not a beautiful bonus. Let's talk about muscle building because it is the fountain of youth, let me tell you. I'm gonna try to say this in every video because I am a firm believer. If you want youth, the fountain of youth, build muscle, build muscle. So protein is one of those things that is really crucial for building muscle. So here's how the process goes. When you work out, when you smash out a sweaty session, you're actually creating tiny tears in your muscle fibers, right? Right. So protein comes in, it swoops in like a little superhero, bringing the amino acids to help with your recovery and repair, thus building your beautiful muscles. You can't see mine because it's covered by this little hoodie, but listen, it's there, it's right here. Right here. I'm gonna circle it, okay? So when these tiny tears are being repaired, new muscle tissue is actually being built. And this is a process called muscle protein synthesis. You need her. Here is one thing you need to know about protein. Your body doesn't just store protein the way it does fat. What a bummer. I would like to know who I can write to change things up, because I don't need this fat to be stored anymore, but the protein, bring it. Why do I say this? Because if you want to keep your muscles happy and growing, then you absolutely need to make sure you're consuming the right amount of protein to build and maintain your muscles each and every day. The long and short answer here is yes. Too much of a good thing is still too much, right? Right. If you're consuming too much protein, excess protein in the day, then it could mean that you're consuming excess calories that you don't need. It could also mean you are missing out on consuming the right amount of your other macronutrients, like your fats and your carbohydrates, because you are too focused on your protein. Another thing that can happen is consuming way too much protein could put stress on your organs like your kidneys. So just a few things that you need to be aware of. So yeah, the long and short, you can absolutely overconsume protein. Here are my final thoughts. I have seen such an incredible shift in my health, my wellness, my body in these last 10 plus weeks. And I know that a large part of that is because of the amount of protein I am consuming. I am confident when I tell you that probably all of my life, I have underconsumed protein. There have been times, I'm sure, where I overconsumed and times when I got it just right, but none of that was intentional. It was just eating blindly. But now that I have honed in on the right amount of macros for my body, I will tell you that my energy has been so good. My sleep has improved. I am losing weight. I am building muscle. I am gaining strength. I mean, so many incredible changes have happened in these last 10 plus weeks, and I owe a lot of that to protein. I know that I didn't cover every single protein question in this video, but I just took the most common ones, the most frequently asked ones, and I answered those today. If you have other questions, if you want me to expand on anything that I talked about today, make sure you comment down below and let me know. Also, let me know what videos you would like to see, because I am here to serve. You know what I mean? If you enjoyed this video, and I really hope that you did, please make sure that you give it a thumbs up, you subscribe, and you click that notification bell, because all of that really supports my channel and it means the world to me. I will see you next time. Mwah. All right, I think I got it all. I think I got it all and done.